Welcome back. This is going to be my second video tutorial on object-oriented programming. I am putting this into a playlist where earlier on in the playlist you saw objects like var character equals, and then I had property names like x176 and so on within the two curly braces. And I even put a function in as one of the properties. This method of object-oriented programming is a little bit more dynamic because you have a constructor that has the template, whereas in this method, like sometimes you'll see people just like copying and pasting their template all over the place. It gets a little bit messy. I prefer definitely to set up a constructor, and then you use the constructor later on to set up your variables. So let's first of all make the constructor have a draw method, and a method is just any kind of function that is associated with your object. There's a couple of different ways that you can set up your methods. You can say this dot method name equals function within the constructor, or you can use inheritance, and outside of the constructor you can use the prototype. So you start out with the object name and then you say dot prototype. So it's like you're using this as a prototype. Or, I mean, this is, well, I don't know why they named it prototype, but prototype just means like, it's like the prototypical example of something, or I don't know, I'm having a hard time using it in a sentence even, but just trust me. You're taking and you're modifying the ball objects with a method function. So if I am in here and I say this dot function name, then I'm inside the scope of the ball object, so I'm allowed to use this dot x, and that will mean the x value that is passed in for that particular object. If I'm inside the ball object prototype methods, then I am also within the scope of the ball objects. So this dot x in this context right here is also this same this dot x. So if I have ball instance 1 and I pass in 1, and I have ball instance 2, and I pass in 2, then x will get set to 1 in this instance of the ball object, and x will get set to 2 in this instance of the ball object. So a very simple draw would just be to like display some text. So I use the dot operator to get into the object's interior. So I also use the dot operator to access an object's method. So draw is the method of the ball objects, so I can take either of these variable names and access their draw method. And it's displaying a 1 because I'm doing ball instance 1.draw, and I passed in a 1 as the x variable. This dot x got set equal to x, so this dot x right here is the same thing as this dot x right here. so it's going to display a 1. And if I do 2, then the object is now a 2. So I hope that helps you understand objects a little bit more. Sorry I didn't use any of these other properties. In the next video I'll be making a game, and I'll be making a bit more extensive use of objects, so it will hopefully solidify your understanding of them even more. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.